Alright, well, I was trying to start a video there and I got cut off from an Amber Alert. But anyway, I just wanted to make a video here. I'm just getting off work. It sucks now. It's dark when I get off work and I can't stand that. It's hard to try to get things done, but you got to do what you can. Anyway, I just wanted to give my 2 cents on what I think is going on with this Kyle Rittenhouse trial. If you don't know who it is, I'm sure anybody who's watching me probably knows. But he was the gentleman who was 17 years old and went to the riots that were happening in Kenosha, Wisconsin last year. And unfortunately, I think for him, he was carrying a weapon. I mean, I guess it's good that he was, because he probably would be dead if he did not have a weapon on him. But I just kind of wonder why a child who was, under the age of 18 was out like that. I know he was there being a medic. He's very mature, looks like, for his age. He's certified in CPR and a lot of other different things. I think it was like a volunteer. I think it was a lifeguard, maybe a volunteer firefighter or EMS. Anyway, he's now on trial. They're trying him for murder, which is 2 counts, and I think assault with a deadly weapon is the 3rd, maybe. He blew one guy's arm off. In my eyes, let me just preface it by saying, in my eyes, he should not be on trial at all, because this is self-defense. It was clearly self-defense. You can see it in the videos. I believe they're putting him through this trial because he was a 17-year-old kid out in the streets with a rifle, and things led to what they did. Anyway, that's a little bit of the backstory on who it is. And what I think is that, like I said, first and foremost, I believe, no doubt, he's innocent. However, if you've watched any of it and you've seen the way that the prosecution is handling this trial, to me, they look like a boxer who's trying to throw a match. I mean, they have made stupid mistakes, comments. The witness, who was the fella who got his arm blown off because he was actually holding a gun on Kyle Rittenhouse, and Kyle Rittenhouse was fearing for his life, and he just happened to have a quicker trigger finger. That guy straight up said on stand when he was giving his testimony, when they were asking him questions, he straight up said he did not point the gun at me until I pointed a gun at him. I mean, it's clear cut, in my opinion. But it's really, really strange with the way that the prosecution is acting. So, of course, you know me, I think everything happens for a reason. And what I believe is, what we got going on over here? Maybe they're decorating. What I believe is they want more chaos. There's already been threats. There's already been previous rioters, Antifa type people, George Floyd's cousin, who have said that they will hunt the jurors down. There's going to be there'll be more riots and more chaos if and when they find him not guilty. It's going to be just as bad, if not worse, than it was. The only thing that might make it not quite as chaotic is that it is going to be colder weather now. When everything happened, it was in August of 2020. We're now in November, and we're getting ready to get into a little cold spell here in Tennessee, so I can imagine it's probably colder in Wisconsin, I would assume. And so, you know, maybe with the colder weather, things won't pop off quite as crazily. But I think that they are wanting to, for whatever, you know, for what we know, for what reason, any way necessary and possible, make sure that Kyle Rittenhouse is not found guilty. I guess the going to trial to begin with was just a big show for them, and who knows, you know, who knows what their whole, you know, scheme behind it was, and how things change and move, and the narrative becomes a little different. And, you know, now they need more chaos. I mean, you know, any time that something happens and it seems like that we, as when I say we, I mean sound-minded, individual, patriotic American people who love our country, anytime we get like one up, if you will, anytime we get a little dose of sanity back into our lives, they throw they throw another wrench and try to create more chaos. I mean, you can think about it, it's happening daily. Another thing I've been thinking about since it happened, and I never had made any kind of video on it, was that whole concert over the weekend where all those children have now died, and that Travis Scott thing. You know, that probably during those same hours is when that federal judge was striking down Biden's mandate. So, I definitely, in my eyes, it was absolutely a ritual. It was a demonic, Luciferian ritual sacrifice ceremony. But, you know, is it tied in together in any other way with anything else that's going on? I don't know. You know, they anytime they do anything like that, there's a reasoning behind it, whether we ever find out or not. So it's just a little theory I've got going on, I guess, basically about both of those. But just something to keep your eye on, with everything else going on, which it's so funny to me on a daily basis. I see all this, you know, news from all these other places and everything, and I'm just so thankful that I live where I do live. And oh, look at this, these people are totally sorry. Just so thankful, because I mean, you hear about supply shortages, and you hear about this and you hear about that, and I mean, praise God, it doesn't touch us here as much. So, just very thankful, and feel very blessed, and just hope that you all have a wonderful evening. I'm actually going into Lowe's here to get some cement block and some sand. So, I'll check back with you later. But yeah, just something to keep your eye on. Much love.